Today we are going to discuss latitude and longitude. Latitude is represented on Earth by horizontal lines that run east and west. Did you know that horizontal derives its name from horizon? The horizon is the area where the Earth meets the sky. You can get the best visual of this when you are looking out over the beach. Depending on where you are, you can look out over the ocean and watch the sun set or rise over the horizon. Latitude lines are imaginary parallel lines. Parallel lines never intersect. Here are some parallel lines. These lines will travel endlessly through space and never touch one another. Now, let's look at the Earth. Like a pie or wheel, the Earth is a 360-degree circle that we can divide into many sections. For instance, take out 1/4 of the Earth and you will get 90 degrees. We can still split up the Earth again into 45 degrees, and so on and so on. There are 5 major named lines of latitude that we are going to discuss today. First, at 66.5 degrees north, is the Arctic Circle. Below that, at 23 degrees north, is the Tropic of Cancer. At 0 degrees, we find the Equator. 23 degrees south is the Tropic of Capricorn. And at 66.5 degrees south is the Antarctic Circle. It's pretty easy to find the Arctic and Antarctic circles. The Arctic Circle encompasses the Arctic Ocean, where we find the North Pole. The Antarctic Circle surrounds almost all of Antarctica, where one would find the South Pole. So if you remember where the Arctic Ocean is and the continent of Antarctica, you should be in pretty good shape with those. However, the tropics are often harder to remember. It would be easy to tell you that the Tropic of Capricorn relatively runs through Sao Paulo, Brazil, and that the Tropic of Cancer runs through the country of Cuba. Still, I don't think that would allow someone to effectively remember which goes where. So I have a couple of other ways to help you remember. Let's look in the dictionary. From an alphabetical standpoint, the CAN in Cancer would be found above the CAP in Capricorn. In other words, the Tropic of Cancer would be higher on the page than the Tropic of Capricorn, just like it is on the Earth. Okay, now let's weigh the two words. Let's pretend that all the letters are the same size and weight. The simple fact that Capricorn has 9 letters to Cancer 6 obviously means that Capricorn weighs more and will sink below Cancer. See what I did there? Okay, one more. The Tropic of Cancer runs through Mexico near its capital, Mexico City. Did you know that breathing the air for one day in Mexico City is like smoking 40 cigarettes? And we all know what cigarettes cause. Finally, we need to discuss the equator. The equator cuts the Earth in half, giving us the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. The equator is also the halfway point between the north and south poles. Now, you may ask, why do we need to know these lines of latitude? Well, let me explain. If you didn't already know, our Earth tilts as it revolves around the sun, causing seasons. 2 times a year, the Earth is at its equilibrium, which means the equator is facing the center of the sun. These 2 times are spring and fall. As the northern hemisphere begins to tilt toward the sun, it begins to warm. At its greatest tilt, which is 23 degrees north, the northern hemisphere will experience the first day of summer, while the southern hemisphere experiences the first day of winter. 6 months later, the Earth reverses tilt to 23 degrees south. At this time, the northern hemisphere will experience the first day of winter, while the southern hemisphere experiences the first day of summer. Okay, just to clarify, On the first day of spring, the Earth faces the sun directly over the equator. First day of summer, in the northern hemisphere, the Earth and sun face one another directly across the Tropic of Cancer. First day of fall, we are back at the equator. And the first day of winter in the northern hemisphere, the Earth and sun face each other directly over the Tropic of Capricorn. Now for longitude. Longitude is represented by vertical lines that travel north and south. The most recognizable line of longitude is the Prime Meridian. Like the equator, it is also found at 0 degrees. Did you know that the Prime Meridian runs through Greenwich, England, where the chronometer was invented? Like the equator, the Prime Meridian cuts the world into 2 hemispheres. The Western Hemisphere and the Eastern Hemisphere. Unlike latitude, longitude lines are not parallel. They all intersect at the North Pole as well as the South Pole. So, why do we need longitude? Longitude is about time. Since the Earth is 360 degrees, it can be divided up into 24 sections at 15 degrees each. So the sun shines directly over a 15-degree section of the Earth every hour, giving us time zones. For instance, if it is 12 o'clock at the Prime Meridian, it would be 1 hour earlier for every 15 degrees of longitude traveling west. Just as it would be 1 hour later for every 15 degrees of longitude traveling east. Finally, taking us to 180 degrees longitude, which is called the International Dateline. This is the line that separates the date. If you were traveling west over the International Dateline, you would actually gain a day. And as you travel east over the International Dateline, you would lose a day. But we will discuss this further when we get to time zones. Hopefully, now you understand your latitude and longitude a little better. We'll see you next time. Let's go!